Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to hear a story titled, Beyond Lost and I Don't Know What to Do With Myself. And guys, this is about a guy, he's 43, he's been with his girlfriend 18 years. Long freaking time. Not married though. And recently found out that she's been cheating on him with a so-called friend. A friend she met on Instagram for local sports teams and all, and he's kicking her out. Good for him. The problem is, this guy's really going through a hard time. Now, they've been going to go over here making the point, guys, that you always have to sleep with one eye open. You always have to, you can trust but verify. And you're going to see this situation, guys. Guess what? This gal has a history of this. There was a sign years ago, and yet he stayed with her, and look what happened. So once a cheater is a cheater, you got to end it. Otherwise, you could be suffering just like this guy. So it starts off, says here, I'm a 43-year-old male who just learned that his girl, a 47-year-old female of 18 years, has been having an affair for the past year. This discovery happened around June 23rd, so the wound is still very fresh. Holy crap, that's like 10 days ago. I am beyond heartbroken. I'm lost, and I can't stop thinking about the details, and I know the affair and the assumptions I've made about it. I'm at the lowest point in my life, and the one person I would go for support is the one who put me here. I don't have anyone to talk to or vent to, so I'm hoping to do it on here, and that will help. Well, man, it should help. The person she had the affair with was someone that she became friends with on Instagram, an Instagram fan club for a local sports team. There was a group chat that she became a part of, and she made friends in the chat and met up with them sometimes at games that we attended over the past couple of years. Well, guess what, man? She should have been chatting and talking to other people on Instagram. You've been together for 18 years. She's your wife, for lack of... It may not be legally. I mean, clearly you must be in a place where common law marriage doesn't happen, because otherwise 18 years under the same roof... Well, that's... I don't know if you've been under the same roof for 18 years, but you get my point. Probably you've been for a long time, and you've seen this common law. I don't remember when I met the guy she cheated with, whether it was before or after their affair began, but I met him and became friendly with him. We hung out many times at the games, and that just drives the knife in my back that much deeper. I wouldn't say that I had a feeling about him, but I definitely wasn't comfortable about the way they joked and talked and interacted together. Well, you should never have allowed that, man. I know you wanted to think the best of her. She should have been chatting with people online, let alone him, and hanging out and being buddies with him. My guess is this guy probably is not confrontational, doesn't put up boundaries and enforce them. That's the problem. The way I found out felt like something out of a movie. I got an anonymous letter in the mail from someone within that group chat. They told me it had been going on for the last 2 seasons, possibly longer, and they knew for a fact that they were sleeping together. They said they weren't shy about it in their group chat, and they were doing it while I was on shift at work. Holy crap. You know, all these stories will have some mysterious person, anonymous person, send a message or a text or an email, even a fucking letter nowadays about it, but I guess that's what people do. I spent about half a day trying to figure out a way to get her phone from her for a few, and to get into one of her old phones or something to look at their texts. But she wasn't home most of the day, and I couldn't get in her old one. God, this poor guy. And that probably was just driving him crazy. Minutes felt like hours. So later that evening, she asked me what was wrong for the second time that day. See, she can tell. Women can tell. Most guys cannot fake it. I couldn't try to hide it anymore, so I asked her about it. I wanted to give it a few days and get to her phone, but I couldn't let it fester anymore. I asked her if there was something she needed to tell me. If there was something she needed to get off her chest. If there was something she didn't want to tell me because it would hurt me, etc., which she denied. Of course she denied, but now she knows. She kept that poker face up, but she now knows you're onto her. So I asked her if I could look through her phone. She says she had nothing to hide and gave it to me. Anybody that says they have nothing to hide has a lot to hide. I went to Instagram, found his name in the message section, and scrolled for about 30 seconds before my suspicions were confirmed. What happened to her with nothing to hide? I guess she wants to get caught. I got her to admit that they slept together once, and before I could scroll much further, she started trying to grab the phone back from me. Well, once is one too many. We're done. Pack your shit and get the F out of here. While we exchanged some heated words, she grabbed for the phone some more, and I just threw it down on the bed before things got too out of hand. Be careful, man. You don't want an excuse for her to call the police, and you know what's going to happen. Right after that, she deleted all the messages between the two of them. This makes me think there was more in the messages than she didn't want me to see. Well, yeah. I know there was. I don't know if seeing what was actually written or the other pictures in there would have been better or worse than what I was creating in my head was right there. Well, man, I don't know. Maybe in some way it was merciful you didn't see all those things. Because, okay, she admitted cheating and you saw a lot of BS, what you saw. That's all you need. We just got home from a vacation for her birthday and that morning. That's when I read the letter and was stewing on it all day. The letter that the anonymous person sent him. One of the few pictures I saw from the messages was one of her, from her shoulders up laying on a bed with a seductive kissy face if he had wished her a happy birthday. I was probably in the fucking bathroom and she's in the hotel bed I paid for sending the guy sexy messages. Yeah, and you know what? I bet you she got off on that. It was exciting to her. This isn't the first time she slipped up. A couple years into us dating, she went on her own for a visit back home. I think I looked her up on Facebook or something and found messages between her and one of her friends up there talking about how some guy had kissed her and how much she liked it. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You should have gotten with her. You should have ended with her right there. Well, I confronted her on that. This is back then. And I forgot that the whole explanation was, it was probably 15 years ago, but essentially he made a move on her, she turned her head, and he kissed and licked the side of her face. Bullshit. That is bullshit. Well, after that, we broke up. She moved out, and we went to therapy for a while, and ended up getting back together months later. Smack! You had your chance. You notice he said he was with her for a couple of years before that happened. And here we are now. I never believed that story and always felt there was more to what actually happened. Then why'd you get back with her, man? I would think back to that occasionally, feeling like I should have never gotten her back in my life. But I was young, dumb, naive, I guess. Still dumb and naive, apparently. At least you can admit it, man. But you know what? It's never too late. You know? How old is this guy? He is 43. 4 years younger than me. Got plenty of life left. End it. I feel like I've been played for the bulk of our almost 19 years together. You're telling me that 19 years that she slipped up 2 times and I actually happened to catch you both times? Thank you. No chance. It was more than once with this guy, and there have probably been other guys too. It makes me effing sick to think about how I plan to grow old with this person, and she has likely been doing me dirty this entire time. I generally hate her. I don't know if that will lessen or change over time, but god damn it, I fucking hate her. I truly never want to see her again. I can't even look at her. Okay, man, then get her the hell out of there. But the problem is you're living together. Obviously, you know, that's her residence, so it could be tricky to getting her out pretty quickly, you know? But you can't stay with her. She has a history of this and wants to cheat her as a cheater, but you know what? The problem is, like, you know, he says he hates her right now. Well, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So it's just emotions. He could easily flip right back over. She could turn on the charm. Who knows? But it has to end. He says our relationship is 1,000% over. She wants to go to therapy and tells me she'll do anything to fix this, and it's all BS. There is no fixing this. The damage is done. I think I've told her we're done enough times that she now realizes that I mean it. Well, good for you, man. I told her that she needs to figure out another living situation ASAP. I own the house, and thankfully we do not have kids. We have 2 dogs together, which I don't know how this is going to work out. Well, thank God they're not married. However, depending how long they've been living together, the court in that state may see it as a common law marriage, which means she can fight for that house. And certainly she's going to fight for the dogs. And frankly, after how she's treated him, he had to take the dogs. Get her the hell out of there, change the locks, have the dogs. But there's another problem in the situation. He says, thank you to whoever gets this far. I know it was long-winded and kind of all over the place. Whether this helps out or not, I don't know, but it ate up about an hour or so of my day, which is nice. I woke up today around 7 o'clock, and by 8:30, I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm a homebody and used to enjoy being at home alone, but it has felt like prison these last couple days. I don't want to be here, but I don't know what else to do or where to go. Thankfully, she was at a friend's house yesterday until about 6 p.m., and she's gone again today and staying at a friend's house tonight. Who do you really think she's with? Really? Come on. But then again, we'll find out more in a second. I'm supposed to go back to work tomorrow, but I don't know if I can do it. They all know her. They consider her a friend, and I know they're going to ask about our vacation, how was her birthday, and all. I get choked up just thinking about telling them any of this. I can imagine when they actually asked, and I had to speak it out loud. Thank you again for reading. Now, we're not done yet. He responded to a lot of questions and comments, and you're going to have a lot more details of what's going on here. This isn't just an easy situation and just booting her out of the place, because as it turns out, her dad is living with them. Yes, obviously the guy's got some problems, and he's being a good guy and helping, and no good deed goes unpunished, and there's that, as well as other things. And you're also going to see that this lover of hers is married, of course. So this is just getting crazier and crazier. So I'm not going to read what people said to him. I'm going to read his responses so you'll find out more about the situation. But before I get into this, obviously it's over. And we can all, once again proving, once a cheater, always a cheater. You can't stay with someone like this. And if you find somebody who cheats early on, end it. Otherwise, 18 years you're with this person, and guess what? They're still cheating. But thank the Lord he's not married to her. But again, back to the common law crap. Now he says here, thank you to everyone for your replies. Many brought me to tears. To clarify, we're not married. I told her from day one I had no interest in marriage or kids. Interesting that he did that. Maybe because deep down he didn't trust her, and yet he stayed with her. The marriage issue would come up occasionally in the beginning when friends or family would get married, or one of her friends would get in her ear about it. Eventually she became okay with it and told people she didn't want to get married either. She just wanted a pretty ring. I was thinking about getting one for her, but thankfully I did not. $10 says, $1,000 says she justified her cheating for him dare not marrying her. He doesn't love me, therefore I'm going to hook up. Without kids or plans of kids, I see no reason for marriage, especially in 2025. I'd always say we, or I, were more committed in a relationship with marriage than with and being bound by the government to stay together. I didn't want to get married for reasons exactly like that. Glad I stuck to my guns on that. Well, good for you, but again, I'm not going to let it about the common law marriage thing. Additionally, her father has been staying with us for the past few years. Oh boy. We were actually planning on having a talk with him about moving out, but now that she is, I'm hoping that he will stay for a while to help out with the dogs. I work a 24-hour shift sometimes, so another person around the house is huge with the dog situation. Dude, you can have somebody come to the house, a trusted person, or hire somebody, people do this all the time, that can come to the house once or twice a day to feed the dogs, take them for a walk. There are businesses that do this, you can find good people. When I go on vacation, I have a friend, her side business is doing just that, walking dogs, feeding them for people at work during the daytime, or taking care of cats. That's what happens. She comes to my house twice a day when I'm on vacation, feeding the cats, changing the litter box, playing with them. They love her. She's like 72 years old. She's great. But having him there, you can't get over your girl here, your now ex-girl, with her dad living there. He told me earlier that she texted him that she will be coming to the house tomorrow, and I will likely already have left for work before she gets there, to gather some more things and some work clothes to bring her to a friend's house. I don't know how long she'll be there or what her plan is. I don't really care as long as she's not in my house. Well, again, some people may see it as her place of residency, and you can't kick her out. I'll continue to update as things unfold. Thank you to everyone. Now, another thing he says here is the anger is definitely there, and she knows it. I keep conversations as short as possible, obviously, when he sees her in the house. She told me this morning as she left that she's staying the night at a friend's house, and my response simply was, good. She had an incredible setup, and she squandered it. It was cheap enough that she should have been able to save up a ton of money, but she kept herself in debt, and if she has $1,000 in savings, I'd be surprised. Shocker. Maybe that's another reason you want to marry her, because she's terrible with money. In other words, I'm getting the impression he never probably charged her for rent or anything like that. He says, I've tried several times to help her with debt and savings and all, but she didn't want it and gave me attitude whenever I brought it up. The struggle is going to be real for her for a while unless she finds another sucker like me. Well, if you said she's 48, so unless she's really good looking for her age, good luck for her finding, well, no, there's always going to be a sucker. If she looks good for her age, she might find a sucker who's in his 50s or 60s. Or some lonely guy who actually is her age, just, there's always a sucker. But it doesn't have to be you. Another thing, he says, as far as housing, she relied on me. She makes decent money, but is terrible at managing it. The letter was anonymous, and I'm incredibly thankful for the person who sent it. That letter was both the worst and best thing that ever happened to me. It could have been the affair partner, but I don't think so. He is married with a child. Of course he is. I'm debating on letting his wife know somehow, and I'm not sure if I want to be involved in any more drama. I'm hoping whoever sent me the letter has or will send one for his wife. You have to tell his wife. She doesn't deserve this, And it's not your fault if it ruins a family. He's ruining a family. He ruined his family, and he's ruining your family. But then again, if it wasn't him, it would have been some other dude porking your wife. I mean, let's be honest here. I would reach out once your now soon-to-be ex is out of the house and her dad, and you got the dogs, then you can reach out and ruin his marriage, because frankly, he deserves it. Last thing he says here, I thought about that, but I kind of need him there for the dogs. He means the dad. Plus, like her, he's terrible with money, and I doubt he has the money to find a new place. Not your problem. I don't think between them they have the money for a new place. For now, it's going to have to work. She's a grown-ass adult. She's 48 years old. She can figure it out. She can go stay with a friend. She can make arrangements for him. Now, here's the thing. If the dad is really cool to him, I don't mean to be cruel, but he can't get over her with the dad living there. So he has to go. But he can be a little more patient. I just hope he's not being taken advantage by this dad here. I'm going to change all the door codes this weekend and set some ground rules with him for her being there. If those ground rules get broken, then I'll make him move out and figure it out from there. I don't think she's with the guy. He's married and has kids, and his family actually just moved into his in-laws' house because they sold their house recently. So unless he's getting her their old motel room, I doubt she's with him. That guy is going to dump her the second it stops being fun. Guaranteed. What I think is going to happen, honestly, is this guy's going to kick her out, and she's going to realize she has no place to go. And she's going to do the full court press of the waterworks, begging this guy for a second chance. She'll probably even twist around and blame him, saying, you never wanted to marry me, so I had to find somebody that loved me. Because I guarantee the guy with the wife is probably going to stay with the wife and kid. It's usually how it works. And again, good luck. It's not going to be so easy getting her out and not getting the guy out. Because depending on where he lives, they could see as throwing out a elderly person on the street, and it'd be almost like a squatter situation depending where you live. So if the dad has been good to him, he should be patient with him, but don't be too patient. So anyhow, guys, there you go. Unfortunate situation, but I'm glad he's kicking her out. But good Lord, it never ceases to amaze me. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.